Today, this is the time of year where we are wrapping up one year. We're honoring different traditions and beliefs and holidays this time of year, and we're preparing also for the year to come. There's been a lot that's been going on in the world, and just a fast-changing world that is shaping all of this stuff around the future of work. So we know a lot has been happening. So let me first just start out by saying you've earned it. You've earned an opportunity to step back and allow yourselves to recalibrate, refuel. You've made it through all of this to this point. I know there's more challenges, of course, coming. That is life. And I know sometimes the holidays are busier for some. Sometimes they're an opportunity to step back for others. No matter what you celebrate or where you are right now, I hope you find space to step back, to refuel, and then to share the love with the people around you. So as you enter the end of the year holiday season, here are the reminders for you to step back and to refuel. And we're going to talk about that on today's podcast.
Welcome back to The Thermostat with Jason Barger. If you're currently on a commute, a walk, or just a micro break in your day, glad you're making time to step back, to think, and to reflect on the next steps on your journey. I've never been more convinced. The best leaders and team cultures in the world are the ones that make time to step back and calibrate their thermostat. I hope today's conversation leaves you feeling grounded and inspired. Now let's dive into today's topic to engage our minds and hearts in order to authentically lead and create compelling cultures wherever we are in the world.
Hey everybody, it's Jason, and welcome back to the Thermostat Podcast. Wherever you are, however you're coming to the podcast today, welcome back. So glad you are here. We are well over 100 episodes now, and so there is a lot to celebrate. And certainly this is the last podcast of 2021, so the last of this season. And we're excited to wrap it up in good fashion, and then super excited about kicking off season. Will be season 6 in 2022 coming up in January. So as always, hoping that this is a place for you wherever you are in your life, in your work, to step back, to have a few minutes of positivity, fill your brain, an opportunity to think, to reflect, and to recalibrate your own thermostat. I'm more convinced of this than ever, that authentic leadership and teams and organizations that are creating compelling cultures are needed more than ever in the world. So glad you are listening in. If you would do me a favor, if you have a second, just quickly rate this podcast 5 stars, leave a nice review. All the ways in which that these messages are amplified and shared throughout the world. That's the way it works. So thanks for everybody that takes the time to do that, and also shares it with the people in your network, with your team, your organization, social media, all those ways. That's the way that these things spread. So thanks for anybody who's willing to do that. Also want to just say a quick thank you. Still, there's been great energy and a vibe coming out of this year's Thermostat Cultures live event that took place in Columbus, Ohio, and some people, I know many people experience virtually. So thanks to everybody out there. Such a powerful day, and excited for more of that into the future. So thanks for everybody that participated. This season on the podcast, we've been talking about this idea of the future of work, navigating our way through it, and realizing that all of us are going to create that future of work, what people are referring to as, how is our teams and organizations, how are they going to play out into the future, and the reality that we're all going to share a role in creating that. We've been talking about things like the Great Resignation. We've been talking about the big shifts. We've been talking about remote work and the war for talent, all of these things. But what we know, and again, you can go back and listen to individual episodes on each of those topics, but the reality is that the teams and organizations, the leaders that learn how to engage the minds and hearts of their people in these times of change are going to be the ones that experience success. So we're excited to carry the conversations forward. Today, this is the time of year where we are wrapping up one year. 2021 is coming to an end. We're wrapping up one year, and we're certainly celebrating everything that's happening. We're honoring different traditions and beliefs and holidays this time of year, and we're preparing also for the year to come. So no matter what you celebrate or where you are right now, I hope in this episode, what we're going to focus on is I hope you find space to step back, to refuel, and then to share the love with the people around you. So let me be Captain Obvious here for a second. It's been one hell of a year. It's been one hell of a year. So another hell of a year, actually. So Captain Obvious is that there's been a lot that's been going on in the world. We are still working our way through, believe it or not, the impact of this global pandemic. Certainly been still experiencing economic and political uncertainty, issues of social justice, supply chain issues, and just a fast-changing world that is shaping all of this stuff around the future of work. So we know a lot has been happening. So let me first just start out by saying, as we come to the end of 2021, in this episode, I want you to allow yourself to realize over the next couple weeks, I hope you realize that you've earned it. You've earned an opportunity to step back and allow yourselves to kind of recalibrate, refuel, and so you've earned it. So allow yourself time and space to step back and to breathe. You've made it through all of this to this point. I know there's more challenges, of course, coming. That is life. But we've made it through to this point. So allow yourself to step back, to breathe. I know depending on your work commitments and your calendar year and what industry you're in, I know sometimes the holidays are busier for some. Sometimes they're an opportunity to step back for others. But wherever you are in that experience, I hope you at least find some time to step back and to breathe and to allow yourself that you've made it this far. I also hope that you allow yourself to refuel. And what I mean by that is even the best aircrafts need to refuel. So even the most elaborate, elite aircrafts on the planet, they need time to refuel. They can't just always run. So they need to make time to be grounded, to receive some maintenance and allow their, themselves to receive more fuel. You got to take time to be grounded, to receive some maintenance and allow yourself to receive some of that fuel. So refueling allows us to have the energy and the stamina and the passion for the next phase of the flight plan, which we know is still to come and certainly a lot to come in 2022. So as you enter the end of the year holiday season, here are the reminders for you to step back and to refuel. And we're going to talk about that on today's podcast. But for now, let's take a quick break. Let's pause for a second, and we'll be right back.
Many teams and organizations right now are realizing they need to do both. They need to engage the minds and hearts of their people in person, bring people back together in person, and continue to engage the minds and hearts of their people virtually. So whether you're planning that next event, that power in congregation, the power and the energy that comes from bringing all your people into the same room, into the same space for that important meeting or conference, and you need a powerful keynote speech or facilitated team discussion or facilitated conversation that is the currency for change about leadership, about the culture that you're trying to create together, or the mindset that is needed to navigate all that is in front of you, whether you're planning that in person or you need to do that virtually. I hope that we can be a resource to you and support you in that effort. If so, contact us at jasonvbarger.com, at jasonvbarger.com, if we can partner with you to help engage the minds and hearts of your people in these important times.
So, on today's episode, we're talking about some reminders for this end of the year and the holiday season that is in front of us. So, some reminders for all of us. The first reminder is step back. Step back as much as you can. I recognize that everybody's got a unique situation. Everybody's got a different situation, and some people maybe just can't. But as much as you can, I haven't really ever found somebody that truly can't. But I know it's more difficult for others. But as much as you can, step back. Allow yourself some time over the holidays here to don't overschedule. Allow yourself some time to rest, to recover. Give your mind a mental break. Some space for you to just kind of wander and reflect. And as much as you can, my hope for you this holiday season and this ending out the year, that you find at least a little bit of time, even just moments or a little bit of time to step back and to not overschedule yourself, but allow yourself to have a little bit of that mental break. I also hope and is a reminder to you, but also my hope for you, is that you also allow yourself to refuel. All of us as humans, we refuel in different ways. So think about how you authentically refuel. Do you just need to rest? Do you just need to sleep? Do you need to laugh? Do you need to be surrounded by laughter? Do you need to be, connected with relationships and have time to reconnect with people? Do you need parties? Do you need just some music? Do you need some hobbies that you care about, some sports? Do you need the arts? Do you just need physical space away from people? So fuel your mind and your heart with what those things are that bring you joy. Bring you authentic joy, that all of us, the way we function best, if you want to listen back to an old episode that I did, that the secret to elite performance is rest, then that means that we're actually better at everything else that we do when we find pockets of time throughout the year and throughout actually days and throughout weeks, but certainly throughout the year, to find times to step back and allow ourselves to refuel. And one of the ways we refuel is by allowing our mind and our heart to enjoy the things that bring us joy. So step back and to refuel. The other thing that I'll just remind us of around the holidays and around the end of the year kind of stuff is to acknowledge baggage. And acknowledge that within ourselves, but also acknowledge that within the people that are on our teams and our organizations and throughout our lives. Every single human being on the planet has baggage. You've heard me talk about this in the past, and there's typically 3 types of bags that we all carry. Every human on the planet, every team on the planet, every organization. One bag that we all carry are events that happen to us that are out of our control. And there's stress and anxiety and burdens that come because of an outside event that's happened, that then there's challenges and obstacles and stress that comes from it, such as a global pandemic or somebody in our life that's sick, or a loss of job, something happens in our life, that an event that takes place, and there's baggage that we carry from it. The second type of bag that we all carry are consequences. And different than events that are out of our control, consequences are an event or something happens that we played a role in, and because it doesn't go the way that we hoped it would, we said something we wish we hadn't said, we didn't handle a project we wish we hadn't, then because of that, there's a consequence, and there's stress, and there's baggage that comes with it. And then the third kind of bag that we all typically carry are our thoughts. And these are perhaps the most powerful of anything. The thoughts, the stories that we tell ourselves about what's possible, what's not possible, what people are thinking about us or not thinking about us. Those narratives, those stories we tell ourselves in our head oftentimes become very stressful and burdens that everybody carries. So every human being on the planet has events that have happened in their life and their work that are out of their control. They've had things that haven't gone their way that they've played a role in, consequences of things they wish they had done differently. And then also those stories, those negative thoughts that sometimes creep into our own minds. So we know that around the holidays especially, or towards the end of the year, oftentimes this is when things are heavier for people. Sometimes it's heavier. So challenges that people are facing, memories of loved ones that aren't around anymore, are often heightened at these times. So this is just a reminder to remember that you might be carrying this baggage, and so you need time and space to step back and to refuel, but also to remember that there are those on your team, those in your family, those throughout your community, throughout your organization that may have baggage that they are carrying, and to be aware of that and to be certainly respectful of that and caring for that is going to be really helpful to them around the holiday season. So give yourself and others the gift of grace and to be caring towards them. And then the 2 last reminders that I would, and hopes for us this holiday season, one is to share love. In the spirit of the fact that it's been challenging times for many, and a lot of people have, we all have bags that we might be carrying, to express love to those around you and all that you are grateful for. That's the point of the holidays. This is a time to shower those in your life and your work that you appreciate with reminders about how thankful you are that they are a part of your experience, that they exist in the world. This is the time to say, hey, thank you for everything you do. Thank you for everything you are. Thank you for the person that you contribute to the world. And to reminder to tell people that. The people in your life and work will love feeling the love from you. So part of us stepping back and refueling is sharing the love with the people around us. And then lastly, what my hope is for you as you step back and refuel and, acknowledge that baggage and share the love with people, is I also hope that you finish out the year with a sense of belief in the future that you are creating, that the year ahead is right around the corner, and that there is something new, and to share optimism and excitement for what lies ahead, even though you may know that there are challenges that are going to require grit. Of course there are. It's life. We know there are other challenges that will come, but to share optimism and excitement with yourself and with the people around you, to share a little belief that, hey, the future is going to be brighter. The future is something we get to experience and we get to create together. So to share that kind of belief and optimism with yourself and with the people around you will add to that feeling of stepping back and refueling yourself and preparing yourself for the great year that is ahead. I wish this for you. I wish this for me. I wish all of these things for you and for me this holiday season, a chance to step back, to end the year, to refuel, an opportunity then also to share the love with the people around you. Because remember, calibrating our own thermostat, our own personal thermostat, requires us to step back. It requires us to refuel, to be aware of our own response and our own behaviors, but also to be aware of the people around us and the relationships that we're trying to develop in our life and within our teams. We are the thermostats. And our own internal temperature sets a temperature externally for other people based on our own response and our own behaviors. So, as always, I'll leave you with some questions to ponder, some things to think about along the way. In what ways will you step back and give yourself some needed space this holiday season? In what ways will you step back and give yourself some needed space this holiday season? How can you refuel with things that bring you joy? What is it that brings you joy that can help you refuel? And then who do you need to share the love with over the next couple of weeks? Share some love as we end the year and get ready to kick off a new year together. I hope you'll keep tuning in. Again, thank you to everybody. This is the end of Season 5. This is the last episode that you're going to hear from us, because just as we're telling you to step back, I am personally going to step back myself and look forward to stepping back and refueling and sharing the love with the people in my life. So we'll be stepping back too, and look forward to kicking back off in January with you all. We'll have Season 6, which is so exciting. That starting back up in January. So stay tuned, step back, allow yourself some time and space, but know that those new episodes are going to be coming in January. Until then, you certainly can go back and listen to old episodes and connect to any ones that you might have missed along the way. Thanks to all who share this with other people along your path. And thank you for everybody. Stay tuned. More to come in January 2022. I hope you have a wonderful end of the year and holiday season. Remember, the best leaders, teams, and cultures on the planet stimulate progress by recalibrating their thermostat together.
Thank you for listening to today's podcast, and I hope the messages and questions stimulate positive change along your path. As always, if these messages resonate with you and add value to your life, I hope you'll help amplify them throughout the world. Please rate, comment, and share on whatever podcast or social media platform you're using. And share this podcast with the people in your life or work who should be part of these conversations. That way, this spirit does, in fact, spread. If these messages or developing leaders and culture would be helpful to your organization, or you have a question or comment about this podcast, please contact us at jasonvbarger.com. And remember, we all are ambassadors for the culture we want to create in our life and work. We have to own the vision we want to be a part of. The future of leadership is you, is me, is us. Be a thermostat.